You are now listening to the National Show with Gainstaville and Magee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right. How's it going, everybody? Good afternoon, East Coast. Good morning, West Coast. This is the National Show, and this is our first live show, and we are not playing the radio today, man. It is Florida State, Georgia Tech. We're going to preview all of that, but before we get into that, make sure you please subscribe to our YouTube page, YouTube.com/@National. That's NATIONOLE. And then on Instagram.com/National, NATIONOLE. And then follow us on X as well, /National Show. That's NATIONOLESHOW. Yes, sir.
I cannot believe how proud I am of us for just getting some social feeds started.
Right. Well, the all-season workouts, baby. We had to get it safe. Showing them social media abs.
Usually I just have to like sound good. Today I had to make sure I look good, fixed up, look sharp. This is cool.
Yeah.
We're on the YouTube. Everybody can subscribe to the channel, and we're going to try to rock it video style like this, live stream style just like this every Friday when we're previewing the football games of the upcoming weekend for Florida State football this season.
Yes, sir. Sir.
So allow me to reintroduce ourselves. That's Gainstaville. I am Magee. Hello, YouTube. And we're still going to have the audio up on betyourash.com. We're still going to have the audio in the Bet Your Ash feeds on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So if you don't think we're that handsome and you just want to hear our voices and not see us, that's a great way to handle that. We will have our own audio feeds on both of those platforms in the future. And we got stuff planned, baby. We got stuff planned. It's a long football season. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped, bro. I'm so pumped. It starts tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Hardest part of the off season for you? Like, it was a long one. Man.
It was a long one, man. It was a long one.
Ended with a weird taste. The last season ended with a weird taste in the mouth.
Yeah. And I that's what made the all season so hard, was the way our season ended. And that started with the injury of Jordan Travis. Like, from the moment he went down, even though we were winning games afterwards, it just was like a snowball effect until the last, taste in our mouth was the Georgia game. So, for anybody, for that to be the last game that you have any program, you're ready to get out there on the field and show everyone what we're really capable of,
Yeah. The fact that, we had half a team out there, if that, and it was the bottom half.
Third stringers,
right? And the fact that everything was rolling, we were doing so well, we were having so much fun, all of us, the collective Seminole Nation. That's actually where we got the name National from, because it's the Seminole Nation, right? But all of us, we were feeling so good. We were feeling so good. It was so like way beyond our expectations. And we were rolling. We were legitimately thinking, are they going to fuck around to give us a chance in the national? Oh, watch out. Here we come. We were legitimately getting there. And then all of a sudden, like that, like in the gimme game, you know what I mean? In the game that he didn't even need to be on the field for. It was tough. Man. It was really tough.
Yeah.
hardest part of the off season every year for me. It's the same. It's like the second week in May. I look up and I'm like, is football about to start yet or what? Like it feels like it should already be over, right? And there's still over 100 days, like it's still too far away. It's always people start talking about it's right after. Oh, you know what it is? I didn't even realize till just now. Everybody starts talking about college football because of spring games, right? So there's that little burst of college football talk, and there's
then
buzz
national recruiting signing day and all of that stuff.
Yep. That's when I get all amped up, and then I look at the clock calendar and I'm like, oh, so much time.
Just a little teaser.
I like that we're doing the pre-week one. You know what I mean? The week 0 or whatever, or week 1A, however you want to do it, whatever they're calling it this year. But I'm excited that it's one less week we had to wait.
Yeah. We still be doing our off-season workout.
Still be trying to figure out this YouTube thing. So
right.
What's your plan for tomorrow? You got like it all organized? You throwing a party?
Man,
what's going on?
No, just a chill, relaxed day, man. I'll probably get up early, throw something on the grill, have it ready, maybe some wings for the game. Get up, put my Florida State gear on, and just, root us on. I think the game comes on at my time around like 4:30 or whatever. So it's kind of in the afternoon, gives me time to relax, time to chill, time to, get everything in order. And then, send my evening into nothing but some high spirits after it, because I'm expecting nothing but Florida State greatness.
I tend to do the same thing where even though I'm in Florida and there's obviously I could go to any bar and there's Florida State fans, I tend to watch show. To be honest, I have about 3 friends in South Florida. I don't really have a lot of I
feel you.
Homies, and all of them are married or have kids or whatever. It's not. I'm the only one who's still 21 at heart. But I tend to watch games solo, Florida State games solo. I tend to lock in. I might. I go podcasting rules. I'll turn the phone to quiet. I have made sure the supplies are supplied. I'm all stocked up, right? There's Jack Daniels. There's the Shamrocks, right, for the Ireland game, right? I got plenty of the Shamrocks, right? I'm ready to go.
Your Lucky Charms.
My Lucky Charms is right. And I'm
magically delicious.
I may right around the end of the first quarter, I might deliver or have a pizza delivered or something. Have something on the Uber Eats, sort of. It's like I've been shaking. Since last week when we did the pod and we were talking about, oh wow, it's a week away. I'm just shaking, man. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, we're about to play football today.
This feels like a repeat from last year with our season opener. Remember you was talking the same thing, and remember I was all confident, like, yeah, man, we going undefeated and we this. You was like, I don't know, man, I don't know. And then
it's way different this year. This year, I feel good, dude. I feel really good. I feel
and
good.
I'm the I don't know one. Like I know we. I'm like, I got to see the quarterback play, man. Like I'm feeling right now. Like I'm like, I don't know, man. Like even though I see everything on paper is good, I'm still like old school football. I got to see the eye test, man. And you can only do the eye test doing game footage. So I don't care how many good practices, how many, what success you had at previous programs or what you've done or none of that until I see you with that garnet and that goal on that field with our offense and our coaches and our fans and rocking and rolling and everything doing good. Then, for the rest of, after this game, probably for the rest of the season, I'll be, all right, but right now, bro, like boy.
You're absolutely right, man. I didn't even think about last season. You were so confident, and in hindsight's 2020, but in hindsight, you were confident because you had faith in JT. Like that's it. This is exactly the reason. Like the quarterback position, first off, you're demonstrating that it is in fact the most important position in sports, right?
Oh,
like it's
definitely.
all it's like the main focus. And it was the biggest conversation of the offseason. We had the same guy at that position for years. And to now switch to an unknown, a guy that we haven't seen. It's not like he was practicing, in Tallahassee the last 2 years, right? We haven't seen him. So I understand your concern. Right? I don't share it, though. I have a lot of faith in this dude. Now, first off, we both owe an apology because we continuously said that he went to Washington State the last couple of podcasts, and he definitely went to Oregon State after
Oregon State. That's
he was in Corvallis, right? He lived in
man.
Oregon State when he left Clemson.
Yeah, my bad.
As soon as I saw that, I remember. Oh man, we're idiots. But that's just we're old. We're getting old. We don't have the memory we used to have. But I like the idea of an older guy coming in, right? I like the idea of a guy who's had a couple coaches, who's learned a couple systems. I have faith that he'll pick this one up. And I'm more confident in Coach Norvell and his coaching staff than I've ever been, right? Like more so than last year.
Yes.
And it compensates for any concerns I have about the new quarterback or the unknown at quarterback, right? So honestly, like I went over to the casino this morning. Like first off, walking into the casino before noon is like reminds me of the good old days, when I was playing a lot of poker, right? I haven't lived
big time bets too.
Right. I walked away from poker years ago, and I haven't walked into, while they're vacuuming and wiping things down and things are just getting opening up. But I went in this morning and my intention was to bet DJ to win the Heisman. And I found out that in Florida, where there's only one book, there's only one legal book, and it's run by it's Hard Rock Bets, and it's run by the Seminole Nation, right? They're the tribe. I mean, Florida doesn't allow Heisman gambling.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But while I was there, I bet Florida State to win the national championship. And whereas when we did the preview, we saw him at 25-1, I actually got him at 30-1 this morning.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
So that ticket's
nice.
A little magnet right on where everybody puts like the drawings by their kids. That's where I put my future tickets, right on the refrigerator with the magnet. Yeah, because I don't have kids. I also, while I was there, put a little something on our guy, Jared Verse, to be Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL.
Nice. That's actually a good bet.
I think that one's a good one, dude. There's like 3 or 4 people I'm really concerned. There's going to be somebody off that I'm not, some second rounder or third rounder that I'm not really thinking of who's going to obviously have a great year. But I mean, I just think it's a small pool of potential.
Yeah.
Not an NFL pod. This is Florida State, specifically a Florida State football pod.
Florida State football.
And we got a big game tomorrow, dude.
Boy. Yes,
my cheeks hurt. My cheeks hurt right now from smiling. Let's talk about Georgia Tech first. All right, because we're obviously about to dive into Florida State, right?
Of course.
Let's talk about Georgia Tech a little bit. Yeah. When I bring them up, where does your mind go? Where do you go first? What do you think about when I bring up Georgia Tech?
Well, they're bringing back a lot of talent from last year. They got that kid that transferred in, Haynes King, coming back. He was one of the top passers in the conference last year. He's also a nice dual threat quarterback as well. But I feel safe against him because he threw like 16 interceptions last year, man. So
let's talk about last year, though. I mean, that was their transition year, right? That was the first year of the new head coach. And I'll tell you what, I would want to play for this guy, right? Like, I think you would want to play for him. He's our kind of guy. Honestly, not for nothing. In 20 years, maybe there's a job in between Georgia Tech and, but that next job, the job after the next, he might have a house in Tallahassee someday. He's our kind of guy, He really is. And good recruiter. The guys like playing for him. He's a player's coach, just like we said. We would love to play for him, right?
And he's been doing good with the portal as well, man.
And that's the thing. They've been really good about they didn't stop recruiting. They recruit really well. Basically, all the Georgian football players. Georgia's a hotbed, man. Incredible talent.
Oh yeah.
Anybody in Georgia that isn't going to the SEC if you're smart, Georgia Tech calls it, and now they're calling with the bag. And it never, like, if you're smart, it's so because of that, they've always had this like really intelligent roster, and they've been able to do interesting things on offense and defense and etc. And now with the NIL rules and everything, they're selling these kids on living and marketing their brands in Atlanta, and that is huge. It's the dopest spot in the East. Miami is pretty cool, right? Miami's pretty cool. But Miami and Atlanta, I mean, like those schools are in cities. They're not in college towns like Clemson or Florida State is, or NC State, or one of these schools that are in a smaller city, maybe, right? It's their roster got better going into last season, and it got better going into this season. And I'm glad we're starting the season against them this year and not starting the season against them next year, because they're going to keep getting better. They're going to keep getting better.
Yep. Yeah, they kind of remind me of where we were not last year, but the year before last.
Yeah, right after Willie left. The transition year. Exactly. Exactly. Right? When we brought in, we had half a roster that fit with Norvell's vision and half a roster that were holdovers, right? Yeah. That's where they were last year. And last year, with not all the right guys in place yet, they started 4-0 in the conference, right? They beat Miami, right? They beat UNC. Like they had a little momentum going. Everybody was talking about them. Everybody's talking about the head coach. Now you got to assume the roster is even more catered to what the coaching staff's trying to do. And careful. Watch out.
Yeah, definitely watch out. But like I always say, man, the safe bet with us versus them is depth. Even though they're getting better or whatever, our offensive line got over 130 starts between all of them. Like, bro, we literally started from the bottom. Now we here. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the safe bet for me. You know what I mean? I know we got defensive linemen we could rotate. We got linebackers, offensive linemen, running backs that we could rotate, receivers that have been rotated from last year, and we got our plug and play Reynolds in there. We good, man. But I just got to see it.
The depth is key for us to, on our strongest aspects of our team, right? Unlike the position groups, right?
Yep.
The defensive line's really good, and 7 or 8 deep, which means everybody gets plays, and everybody who's out there in the fourth quarter is fresh, or at least fresher than Georgia Tech's offensive line, who doesn't have that luxury. Right. That's huge for us, and that's our obviously our biggest whatever it is, the biggest difference between Georgia Tech and Florida State is the number of good players. Their best players are really good. They have starters that would start for us. Don't question that.
Yeah. They got talent.
Their second string might not make our roster, right? Like that's the difference, right?
Exactly.
So you're right. You're absolutely right. Their defense isn't. Their offense is what we should be concerned with, right? Their offense, they do incredible things. They do interesting things. They do unique things that other teams don't do. It's very college. It's not like a pro style, right? Quarterback is a threat, period.
Yes.
Right? Period.
Point blank, period.
And I really do think that they're going to give, a lot of the teams that they play this year a run, and they're going to have some W's. We're going to look back at the end of the season like, hey, that was a good win. Right?
Yep.
That was a good win, right? We're going to look back at the end of the season, and they might be in the top 20, top 25.
Yeah.
They're really that good
this year, for real.
So watch out for Georgia Tech on the season. Watch out for Georgia Tech. And tomorrow, that offense might surprise you. Watch out. So you got to be ready. The key is, I think, not to be too excited. right?
Right,
Like
right,
sometimes when
right,
you're too
right.
excited,
Mm-hmm.
you're going so hard at the quarterback and you don't realize the running back actually has the ball. He just went by
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's about being in control. And well, they're kids. It's hard to. That's like the last thing you learn is how to control your emotions.
right, right, right. But our defense is disciplined, so we'll be good on that end, man. I
I
take it
think
back to the
if we get caught, it'll
mhm.
happen once or twice early.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
And
And it's
then
like
everybody be like, what the hell's going on here? And then
right, right, right.
focus and lock in,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and that's just kind of how I suspect like it'll play out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what are you most excited to see about our team? Now, I mean, cool, Georgia Tech. Plucky, good team. Can't take them too lightly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Florida State Seminoles. 2024 Florida State
Yes, sir.
Seminoles.
I always talk about the quarterback position. We all know that. I'm gonna take it a shade different with this approach. I can't wait to see our running game because we're bringing back Corbin. We're bringing back the most experienced offensive line we've had since Jameis Winston was there the year before he left and went pro. Like this line is the limits. There's no limit to what we can do with this offensive line that we got here. So I just want to see if we can ground and pound, man. Because if we can ground and pound, then we can do anything. You know what I mean? I'm cool with having a quarterback that's just a blue collar serviceman. You know what I mean? If it's just passing it off to Corbin and then, doing the play action and throwing it over top every now and then, you ain't got to get out there and, you know what I mean? Just throw for 300 yards a game or whatever.
We don't want him to do that. We want him to not make mistakes and let all those weapons that he's never had before, let them do the job, right?
Exactly.
And he's grown up enough to understand the assignment. Right?
Yep.
He just as long as he like let the guys work, man, because you're right. We have for 2 years now, but going into this season, we have like a phenomenal running back room. You have options, right? You have options. So you're like, here, this play is yours. Well, this play over here. Wait, you go this play, and it keeps the defense can't get used to anything. They don't get used to a style of running back.
Right.
So the running game can really just take care of a lot of this game. Eat up the clock, eat up the yardage, keep us in the right position on the field.
Defense off the field.
Exactly. Keep our rushing attack, rested and man, if the running backs take over this game, and I suspect that's exactly what Coach Norvell wants. If the running backs are able to just kind of control this game, I mean, Georgia Tech defense isn't going to really be able to do anything because that's just going to open up the passing attack. It's weird. The fewer throws we throw, the more effective the passing attack can be.
Yeah. That's how Florida quarterback Graham Ertz was able to be so accurate, so to say, or whatever. It's because he only threw 10, 12 times a game or whatever. But that's ideal. Not even to throw shade. That's ideal, man. If you can do that and have success while winning ball games, man, that's cool.
Absolutely. And you're right. On defense, the depth will take care of it. The athleticism will take care of it. We have a great defense. Man.
And then we got a little bit of glory to add on defense, man. Just imagine if Marvin Jones Jr. is able to slide in and be like Jared Verse 2.0, like the legacy aspect of it, man. Like
he's the player, man. He's the one that I have my eye on, that could legitimately be the standout on this defense. And that's saying something because it's a great defense. Right?
Yeah.
But if he, and maybe it's all hype, but if he lives up to expectations, the players will follow him. Like they'll be right there. Like it'll be a top tier defense. It'll be a top tier defense. Already it is potentially, a top 5 defense in the country, but like it's really that good. And maybe one of the, I'm excited to see how we shut down running backs all season. because I suspect that we're gonna really be able to bottle up running games, right? And we have, we have the athletes behind the front guys. Like we have the athletes behind, so that we don't need to double team anybody really. There's only a few wide receivers that we'll see all season that we have to really double team and keep an eye on, and that's going to free up the front guys to really smother some running attacks. So I think it's going to be tough for Georgia Tech to consistently have good drives. Right, they'll have a few. Right, they'll have two.
Oh,
They're going to get a touchdown. They're going to get a touchdown, and the goal is that, let's keep it to one touchdown and some field goals. Right, let's not let their touchdowns start adding up. Right, because they'll score from 40 yards out. Like that's the way that is designed. That offense is designed.
Yeah, they catch you slipping, definitely, man. Yep.
So, Ireland, any concerns about like travel, or how does that impact the game, the international aspect? Does that
look at all the traveling they had to do to get there, man. It don't matter if they landed there a couple days before or the day before. That lag is going to get you being in a different environment, that increased focus, not being in an environment that you're used to. Now, we'll say sprinkle a little sugar on top of it is the fact that I heard about 25 to 30,000 Florida State fans are supposed to be coming in. So it's gonna be kind of like a home game feel away. You know what I mean? So
I'm kind of bummed
that made me feel better hearing that, man. So yeah.
I'm bummed we're not there. I'm bummed we're not there.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Guinness guy, but I would have had one or two.
Me even. It's
too thick. Shout out to Lee Quimby. He used to
love that's just what came to mind, man. Wow. Had the exact same thought.
Shout out to Lee Quimby. I don't know. Well, I've tried so many times to find him. Idea. I hope he's all right. Guinness is thick, but I wish I was there. I really wish I was there. 25,000, 30,000 Florida State fans.
I got friends of mine that work at the airline or whatever, like United Airways and stuff, and Delta as well. And they're like, oh, man, it's like Florida State fans flying, oh, man, all day long. Like, to send your baggage to Mexico. Oh, man.
College football fans, when they go to an away game, they tend to fly the flag in the airport and on the plane and along the way. All of them. It's not just Florida State fans or not just Southern college football fans. All of them.
Rightfully so, man. It's the brand. It's the brand. You just got accepted into it. You buying into it. You investing into it. It's investing into you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course. It's all about that brand.
It's my favorite part about traveling in the fall is being in some airport random place and seeing somebody in a Florida State hoodie and being like,
yep.
It's my favorite. I love that.
Yep.
Seeing the random Florida State gear just puts a smile on my face. When I lived in Denver, if I ever saw a Florida State license plate or a Florida State license plate little thing the little frame that goes around it,
to get to them, yeah.
I'll turn around. I'm like, yo! I get excited.
That's funny.
Yeah. This is my shit. This is my favorite. This is my favorite part of sport. This is my favorite part of the time of the year. This is my favorite everything. It's Florida State football.
And we get to crank it off with Florida State football. Think about that, That's bro. Right. The official football season starts with us.
That's right.
And not only that, is we've been doing that for a couple of years now, setting the year off with the biggest game of the year. The
LSU was the one that was made me so happy. Right, it made me so happy. That W was when Coach Norvell showed up. I didn't care that we lost a couple games in the middle of that season. That was big. That was one of the biggest wins of honestly, that was one of the biggest Florida State wins of my lifetime. Like that was a big game considering it wasn't at the end of the season. You know, it was
right.
It reinvigorated a fan base in a way that very few, football games, early season wins can,
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we talk a little gambling?
Mm-hmm.
I like to gamble.
Right? Man. Where them dollars at?
A lot of people like to gamble.
Where them dollars at?
There happens to be a casino right next to this stadium. In fact, the story I heard is the Nebraska fan base and maybe even a few of the players and staff spent a lot of time there last year.
Oh wow!
But I don't know what I imagine that you're allowed to gamble on sports in Ireland. I know you can in England.
Alcohol, gotta be able
to. But we can here, all right? So I can, and you can, in Arizona you can, and in Florida you can. So the spreads that I'm seeing, right? And I tell everybody all the time, shop around, look at every book you have access to, because a little bit of change in a number is a big deal. But the spread I'm seeing for the game is 10.5. Florida State minus 10.5.
Yep.
So essentially, Florida State can win by double digits, right? 11 or more, right? That's interesting to me. That's something I can get behind. I think that is doable, right? I don't.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a likelihood of winning this game and a good probability that it is in the fashion, in a double digit type of win. Like I'm not that scared of that.
Right.
I'm kind of gonna step back on is the first half spread. It's minus 6.5. I think, like we kind of alluded to, right? If those gimmicks work, they work early.
Yeah. They'll work early, but they won't sustain.
They won't sustain, right? So there's a chance, maybe a close game at half. It's enough that I'll lay off and not bet the first half spread. And then there's the
I only see that as we shoot ourselves in the foot. Turnovers. As long as we don't turn the ball over, I don't think it's a game by half. I'm not saying it's 21 points, but I'm saying we at least got a little 10-point cushion.
Maybe. But if we're up 5 at halftime or 4 at halftime, I'm not,
If we up there, then there's some mistakes that's been made.
It could be 14-10 at halftime, and then we still win the game 32-14, or I'm sorry, 32 to 17, or 32 to 16 or something. Easy. It could. So it's enough that I don't want to play with that halftime.
Right.
Score. Like I said, if the gimmicks work, they work early. The Florida State pulls away because of that defensive depth and the continuous offensive attack. Like it'll be continuous. It's not going to let up. So, over under 55.5. I think I'll go over that with her a little something. I think Florida State will get 35 points at least, and if not more. And I don't think Georgia Tech's getting shut out here. I think they'll put some points on the board.
At least three.
If I had to bet,
10.
Yeah, right. So they're going to get 10 or 14 or whatever, maybe 13, or 16 on the game. So I don't know. If I had to bet the over under, I'd go over. But I don't know. I don't know if I would bet that. I do like Florida State minus 10.5 on the game though.
Oh yeah. I'll take that all day. Yeah. Twice on Sunday.
All right, man. Well, listen. I think for this season that we should probably end these preview pods with a little pump up, little pep rally. You know what I mean? A little vibe mood setter, right? Can't think of anybody better than you. Right? So why don't you, whether it's the players, the fans, whatever, why don't you get all of us ready for this football game?
Get us ready.
Yeah.
All right. This is unscripted, right?
It's supposed to be.
All right. Florida State fans. Last time they saw us, we had a foot in our face and a fist in our chest. 63-3. And that's all they see when they see us. Well, guess what? We get to show them what we really made of in Dublin Island, baby. We're coming with a brand new rental quarterback that's coming in clean as a Maybach. You know what I'm saying? We got a team that's laced up and ready to tear it up, man. It is not Friday the 13th, but we is bringing pure horror to Georgia Tech this weekend. We are going to remind them of Florida State football excellence, baby. Welcome to the National Show.
I love it. I am so ready. I am so ready to run out the locker room. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. This was fun, man. We can do this. We can do this YouTube thing.
Yeah.
We can do this. I hope. Yeah. Anybody that watches this, give us some feedback. Let us know what we need to do better or differently or whatever. We would be incredibly appreciative of that. I guarantee it. We want to do a good job. So let us know how we can do that. Right?
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yes, sir. The
National Show is a co-production between Broham and BYAPN. BYAPN, Bet Your Ash Podcasting Network. You can listen to this show and all National Show episodes on betyourash.com or in the Bet Your Ash feeds on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on either of those platforms, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. It actually doesn't have to be positive. As long as you just type something in there, that's all that matters. Super helpful. You got to play with the algorithm a little bit, Also, like and follow or subscribe and share with your friends. We appreciate it. Also, betyourash.com/shop. Go check out the gear. We're going to do some national gear. Oh, don't you worry. Baby. Don't you worry. We got some plans. It's got its own separate thread of ideas. It's cool. There's some stuff in the works. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube, follow or subscribe to the feed and share with all your friends. We appreciate that. Gainstaville is everywhere. You can find him everywhere. Go to Linktree. He's got a Linktree. It is /Gainstaville. It will take you to all of his pages on all the social medias. You can get to all of his music. He's got another album about to drop. It is nonstop, and it's a lot of fun. So listen to it stream it on all the different platforms so that he gets spins on all the different platforms. All right. If you want to say hi to me, I'm on the X. It's at DJ Maniac McGee. That's about it. I should probably change the name, huh? I don't really DJ no more, but all good. That's it, man. That's us. It's a new season. It's game time. We got social media for the show. All right, we're on Instagram. We're on X. Whatever you like, follow us. Tell all your friends, please. We very much appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time. We got big plans for this season. It all starts tomorrow. We're gonna be bubbling and doubling, baby.
Bubbling and doubling.
It's game time, man. It's game time. So, is that everything?
You got it, bro. You nailed it.
All right, man. Go Noles.
Go Noles. Peace.
And you have just finished listening to the National Show with Gainstaville and Magee.